Hi, my name is Graham Alderslade and welcome in Sajar. This is RADA's very own nursery in Al Jada, and we have created this unique experience for you to come and enjoy. So our nursery is 150,000 square meters, which is 15 hectares. That's really large for any nursery, even the largest nursery for any developer in the UAE. We're having about 130,000 trees stocked in the nursery of all different sizes. Okay, so we are presently in the sapling area. Its trees are starting from that side in the production area. Then they go to the small seedling area, and they move over to the sapling area. In the sapling area, we've got about 23,000 trees as they are. And from the sapling area, they'll move out from the protection from the shade net. Yeah. They get moved out to the small tree area where they can stay for 1 year, 1.5 years sometimes. And then they move to the medium and the large area. And finally, they land up in that area down there, which is our extra large area. We have labeled and named the areas ourselves. So it's not an industry standard naming, but this is how we're comfortable on naming and identifying our trees. So when we do planting and things in the landscape, we mainly use extra large tree, and we maybe use large tree. Approximately at the moment we have 40 to 50 different varieties of trees. We always do trials and tests on trees to see if there are more varieties and things that we can do. You can see on the left here, we have actually some trials and tests going on. So we're always trying to improve and import and do more types of trees. So we're working with multiple big projects at any time. Any given day we're loading multiple trailers. Trees are moving out to different projects that we are busy planting. But as you can see, we're dealing with a lot of trees. The soil is actually just a natural desert type soil. You get different types of soils, but they're normally classified as sweet soils, meaning they're low in salt. And we add natural compost to them. That's the only treatment that we actually provide. The water comes from our sewage treatment plant. We treat the water that's coming from the community. So it's a treated effluent, which is suitable for irrigation for trees. So I brought you here to our greenhouse. It's a controlled environment. It's got fans and a pad system that controls the environment. It's a sensor, and the temperature is always controlled at a certain degree that we're trying to set it at. In these tunnels, we actually use them as miniature hothouses. So it gets really warm and humid inside there, and once they get rooted enough, they get moved out into the greenhouse. We mainly do our production in this greenhouse, and it consists of seeding and cuttings. So I'll show you some methods of propagation. So these Parkinsonias, they were done from seeds, and they germinate. They're just now called seedlings. And these Tababuyas, they were done from cuttings, and as you can see, each one has its own little root zone, and that will be potted up into a bigger pot later. Down here we have the bottle brush, and we have our local tree, the gaff trees, which we done from seeds. So the cooling system actually works on the ancient traditional ways. The Arabic people used to cool down the houses. They had these cooling towers, and they had the cloths hanging down, and the air has move down freely and actually cool down the environment. So this is made of honeycomb, and the water is stored in a tank. It gets pumped and it cycles through here. Once it cycles, the fans suck the air through and it cools down the air. So you have normally about a temperature difference of about 10 to 15 degrees from inside to outside. The reason why we're choosing the trees for our project, it takes a lot of study and design to place the trees in the right positions and where they were suited. But it's also, we look at where the plants grow in nature and how they act in nature and what will they respond to where we put them in our own project. Some trees want shade, some trees want sun, some trees do well in the roads, some grow really tall. Yes. In the process of design, we have different design criteria. So in Jada, we're using more formal type of layout, and the trees are repeated quite a lot. If you look at our project in Massawa, we have much more random patterns, creating this natural forest look, and the random pattern is not also only in the pattern but also in the spacing. We're spacing the trees from 3 meters, 5 meters, 7 meters, 10 meters. They have very much different patterns that we're always spacing them on. So I brought you to our medium and large tree area, and the reason why we call it medium and large is because the trees in here, we've graded them to a certain caliper and size, and they're graded in medium or large. Large is 5-inch caliper plus and 5-meter height plus. We also do have some extra large trees here that came in from shipments from overseas, which come, and once they settle and they stayed here for 3 months to 6 months, we will actually move into the project. As you can imagine, we have a lot of big trees and we have to move them around, and we need equipment like this tractor and trailer to move around our trees. We also use boom loaders, we use JCBs, we use smaller bobcats. Everything is used to move the trees around and load them on the trailers. As you can see, the irrigation system is this is the delivery line, and this is the supply line to every bag. So these trees get watered twice a day, and they get about 60 liters of water per day, every tree. Yep. So someone in the nursery is actually following, because as you can see, a lot of trees here, we see the gaps, they have actually moved out to the project already. So once they move, they tie up the little irrigation pipe that closes the water. Yeah, and the other trees continue. So they see that, and they see the bubbler stays in the tree. Per day, approximately, we use 800,000 liters of water in the nursery. When we started the projects in Harada, we understood that it's going to be very difficult to source the trees in the market, and we couldn't really rely on the market and what's available locally to supply our projects. There's a really big demand for trees, and that's why we strive and push to stock our nursery with 100,000 trees at any time as a minimum. But saying this, as it's so important that we want the trees to be here, we also want to share this experience with the general public, and we are setting up an experience center that people can come and visit and experience how the trees are grown from the seedling up to the big trees that you see around me now.